Okay, let's start. We will learn some types called optimization questions, okay, using polynomials. This guy here, there is a word problem. It tells you there is a square piece, and this is a square piece of cardboard. So each side has 12 feet, and then you want to cut this full corner. This full corner is going to be a full square, full small square. And then they ask you, write a polynomial function to represent this guy's volume. If you have trouble to understand this, let's go ahead, get a paper, get a square shaped paper, okay? And then you cut four corners. Okay, so here, look at the video camera. And you can cut the four corners by four small squares. Okay, so you cut this corner, you cut a small square, and you cut another small square on this side. And you fold this up, and you fold this side. Okay, so this becomes a box. If you cut all the four corners, it's going to be an open box with one side open. Now, the volume of this guy is going to be, if you treat this guy as x, this side as also x, then x, so you fold it up, your box, if you draw the 3D, okay, if you draw the box, okay, so you have this box. This side is going to be, this total is 12. So this is going to be 12 minus 2x. You cut this by x, so this piece is 12 minus 2x. This side is also 12 minus 2x. So your base is going to be a square with 12 minus 2x. And then your height is exactly that guy. So the height is x. So based on this, you can have the volume, which is 12 minus 2x parentheses squared times x. And then you can for this one. Okay. So all my students, please write down this by opening it and then see what polynomial it is. This is going to be to the third power. So go ahead, open this, for this, see how much is this. So you will for this completed square, and then you will times each individual by x. So that you got this, okay? And when you sort them in order from higher order to lower order, you will have 4x cubed minus 48x squared plus 144x, okay? So this is a polynomial. Well, from this, you can take the 2 out. 12 and the 2 has a common factor of 2, so you take 2 out. 2 take out is going to be 2 squared, which is 4. And then inside you have a 6 minus x, parentheses squared. 6 minus x, parentheses squared, will be the same as x minus 6, parentheses squared. So you have here, when you have this polynomial, when you want to draw the graph, you have first roots, which is x equals 0. Second roots, which is x equals 6. And then you want to draw it. So you will draw something 0 to the power 1. So you have a 1, 0 at x equals to 0. So this is a crossing. But when you come to 6, because this is to the power 2, that means you have the duplicate roots at that location. So this is a bounce point. So you can draw the line like this. You can draw the curve exactly like this. But you have to keep in mind, this is a real world question. So you have to make it to be true. That means if you want to form a box, the box 3 sides has to all be positive. So if the height x has to be greater than 0, and then this guy and this guy also has to be greater than 0. 12 minus 2x greater than 0. And then you solve this one. X will be less than 6. Because when you see you cut 6 on this side, you cut 6 on this side. Basically, you cut everything, right? This total is 12. You cut a 6 here. You cut 6 here. So basically, your box becomes to 0. You have nothing left. So you couldn't make your x equals to or greater than 0. And your x couldn't be negative either. So the restriction is x is within 0 and 6. So the domain is between 0 and 6. So when you draw this, you don't want to draw this part. You can delete it. And then you will have something like this. And some people may feel curious. Why this guy doesn't look like that? No, that guy, the curve of this one, this is to the power of 3. The highest order, the degree is 3. So this is not going to be a parabola. This is not a parabola. So how do you find the point? For this curve, you know, you will have a maximized position. Where is it? Do you think if you cut by 3, this go to the peak? Not really. Then how do we find out? Well, based on what we have learned right now, we can only use calculator to help us figure out the maximum point position. In the future, when we learn the calculus, we will be able to by hand find out this guy position. But I would like to teach something in advance. The correct way for doing those kind of point location is by something called derivative. So for this guy, for this polynomial, when you want to do the derivative, this guy is 3. So x cubed derivative will become 3 times x to the power of 3 minus 1. Then your 4 times 3 give you a 12, and then x squared. So this term derivative is called this. That's something called power rule. Okay. For power rule, you have x to the power of n. For this one, if you want to get the derivative, you pull the n in front and you times x to the power of n minus 1. Okay. For any kind of function like this, doing the derivative will be very simple. Put the n in front and put the x to the power n minus 1 on the top. So this guy derivative becomes to 4 times 3 times x squared. And next one, this is negative 48 times 2 times x to the power 2 minus 1, which is 1, which is this. And then that guy derivative will becomes 144. Because x to the power of 1 derivative will becomes to 1 put in front and x to the power 1 minus 1, which is 0. X to the power 0 is exactly 1. So actually the derivative is not so that hard. It is just the slope. For this line, your slope is 144. That's why you put this 144 here. Okay? We will learn this thing in detail after 2 years when we start calculus. But you have some basic knowledge here so that in the future when you see this thing, you say, oh, that's not something hard. Now, what is the greatest volume possible? What you need to do is you will type in this for the graphing calculator. If you have a TI Inspire, please do it in TI Inspire. If you don't, that's fine. You can draw this in the graphing calculator by times y equals 4x times x minus 6 parentheses squared. And then you want to make sure you want to put the restriction. So you will put a curly brackets and you do 0 less than x less than 6. That's it. Okay, so this curve looks like this. Okay, it looks like this. And then you want to find the greatest volume. That's it. The greatest volume is the peak point, the y value. 2 is when x equals to 2. The box volume has 128. Okay. So in Algebra 2 and pre-calculus, this type of question is called optimization questions. Optimization. So right now, before you learn calculus, for optimization question, as long as you can translate the word's problem to the mass function and then typing in the calculator, and then you find out the peak point, and then you say, oh, okay, the greatest volume is 128. Okay, and then you want to find the range. Your volume has to be greater than 0, so it's greater than 0, it's less than equal than 128. For your x is greater than 0, it's less than 6. Your greatest volume value is going to be 128 with the correct unit, feet cube. Okay. Next one. Let's figure out the volume equation. Find the dimension of the box that have a volume of 12. So you want to make this y equals to 12, and you want to find out the x value. Okay, everybody go ahead. Use your calculator. Using your graphing calculator, either TI Inspire or decimals. Find the dimensions. What does the dimension means? Dimension means you want to give this direction, this direction, this direction length. And tell me what kind of that direction, these 3 directions, will give you a volume of 12 feet cube. Go ahead, do it in your graphing calculator and text me your answer. you type in this equation. Okay, this is the volume equation. You type in this one, and then you want it to equals to 12. And then you will find your crossing point of the x values. Yes, some students already get the answer. When you give me the x value, you also want to write down the other two dimensions. So you get the x, and then you do the 12 minus 2x. Okay, yeah, so this is the result you should give to me. If you haven't completed this step, please go ahead, do it. You cannot just leave this. When they ask dimension, that means you need to give 3 dimension. We have Cindy correct, Kathleen correct, and Abby correct. But make sure list the 3 dimension. When they ask dimensions, you cannot only give me this value, you need to give the 3 dimension, please. Next one. This is similar to, okay, hold on one second. So you might feel curious, what's the reason we learn this kind of thing? So optimization is a very important math tool to help everybody's daily life, okay? I don't know how many of you or your parents buy the Amazon membership, okay? You notice that because everything has big inflation right now. So the same thing will happen to Amazon. So they always want to increase their membership fee. So if they increase their membership fee, that means some customers are going to leave, okay? So they want to maximize their profit. They know that if they increase the membership fee, more people will leave. If they decrease the membership fee, well, more people will join. So there must be a best point where they can maximize their profit. So they have to run some very complicated mathematical models. They have many, many different factors to affect their final profit. So they have to run those kind of mathematical models to tell the companies, well, like membership fee of $100 or maybe $120 per year is going to give the maximum profit. Okay, they are not going to do crazy numbers. Say, okay, because if we just charge $1, everybody is going to buy it. But the problem is, they including those membership free shipping, they have to consider about their cost. Okay, so that's what math optimization is for. So in the future, when you do the business major or some math application majors, you will do a lot of those things called optimizations and risk analysis. So we are doing the easiest model here. Example 2. You have 4 numbers, and they say ration numbers. The product of the second, third, and fourth number is negative 63. But they give you some conditions by saying the second number is 2 more than for the first one. So you call the first one as x, then your second one will be 2 more than the first, which is x plus 2. The third is 5 less than the second, 5 less than twice the second. So the second will double, and then you will minus 5. And the fourth one is 6 less than the first. So the first one is 6 less than the first. So this is your fourth one. That's your full number. And they give you a condition by making this three-guy product as negative 63. So please use this three product equals negative 3. And then you will have a polynomial. Okay. After you make this three-guy product equals negative 3, you will have a polynomial, and then you want to use what we have learned for the PNI, PRR, synthetic division. And I want you guys manipulate the things that we have learned before to figure out all these full numbers. Using synthetic division and PRR. You can also use PNI to help you. Go ahead. Write down the equation and use your synthetic division PRR to figure out the correct factors. If doing synthetic division is too tedious, you might also manipulate with regrouping skills that you learned before. Do this three-term product as negative 63. And then do the FOILings. And then combine the like terms. Put everything from higher order to lower order. Make that in equal 0. And you want to use the synthetic division to figure out all those possible factors. No calculator allowed for this question, okay? Anybody need some help for this one? You can text me private message if you want to, if you need my help, okay? Okay, so let's do this one here. The question here is asked for the product. So we need to make sure we do the product, okay? So Claire, let's do this one together. We can do x plus 2 times. This becomes to how much?
2x minus 1.
And then we times x minus 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this two guy times together. This becomes to x squared.
Plus 2x.
Minus 6x. That will be?
Plus 2.
Negative 4x, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this with this will be?
Minus 12.
Minus 12. And then we times 2x plus 2x minus 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this one here. Let's do this thing. And then that thing. And then that thing. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. 2x cubed. 2x cubed minus x squared. Minus 9 or 8x squared. Or not squared. Wait, yes. 8x squared. Minus
plus 4x.
4x. Minus 24x. Plus 12.
Very good. Next, let's combine them.
2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 20x plus 12.
Good. We have this, right?
Yeah.
And then we want to figure out that guy's factors so that we will be able to find x value, and then we will be able to find all the full numbers. So the synthetic division, we want to look for the possible rational roots. Who are those possible rational roots?
The factors of 24 over 2.
Okay. The factor of this guy over the factor of this guy. So 12 factor will be?
Plus or minus 1, 3, 4, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12.
12 over?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. So those things divided by 1 is still the same. And then 1 over 2, 3 over 2, that's an extra, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so based on that, we have the list. And then we will try the synthetic division. List 2, negative 9, negative 20, positive 12. Based on those synthetic division figure out. Okay? Go ahead. Oh, hold on. I have a typo. Sorry, Claire. I have a typo. We are not making this equal 0. We are making this equals negative 63.
So
yeah, it's okay. We fix here.
You just
yeah. So we will plus 63, right?
Yeah. So it's 75.
Yes. So we will get rid of this one. 75. And then we will do the factor of 75, which is 1, 5. Sorry, 1, 3, 5. And then 15. And then 25. And then 75 over 1, 2. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Very good, Ethan. You did so fast, and you also get the perfect answer. And then you want to put the phone numbers, Ethan. As your last step, you should list all the phone numbers. You get the X value correct, and for each of the X value that you got, you will list the corresponding full numbers. You have one of the X value you will plug in into each of the expression. You get that value, you will plug in into each of them. So you have the phone numbers ready. Listen, go ahead. Let's see. How did you do the synthetic division? Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I used when x is -3.
So
-3.
you have 2, -9, -20, and then positive 75, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what's the number you want to put?
-3.
So you want to try -3. Why you want to try -3, director? You already try other number, like 1.
Yeah, I already tried.
Okay, you already try 1, -1. It's not working. Then you try 3, and then you try -3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here is 2, and then this will be?
-6.
And then this will be?
-15.
Uh-huh.
That times -3 is +45.
Good.
And 25, -75.
And then 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
After you have here, you have 2x squared minus 15x plus 25, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how do you do this one?
Cross multiplication and get I get 2x squared minus 10x times
so you have 10
-5x.
here. Yes. So this give you a x minus 10 times a 2x minus 5 equals 0, right? Very good. And then let's list all those 4 values. So you have your x, 3 values are possible. First one as -3, right? Second one as 10, third one as 2.5, right? Correct. And then your second number will be?
Second number will be -1.
Mm-hmm.
And second, wait.
-7, right? Yes. 2 times this minus 1, -7, right?
Right, for the cross multiplication.
Yeah, you see here?
I got
You just
like the
times
cross
2.
multiplication step.
This is
That
-7.
part, that part
You
got
see here?
2x minus 1.
Yeah, 2x. 2 times this, -6, minus 1, -7.
No,
And
like
then,
the step before that, the cross multiplication, you factor the quadratic equation.
yes, so
Instead
your
of that,
x
I
equals 10.
Instead I get 2x minus 5 times x minus 5.
This is x minus 10 times 2x minus 5. Oh,
No.
hold on. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
2x minus 5 times. I have a typo
5.
here. Yeah, I have a typo here. This is -5, sorry. So this is -10 minus 5, which is -15. Okay. So I have x minus 5 here, right? That's right now, right? Okay, so this becomes to 5. Okay. And then let's figure out this piece. When you have the x as -3, the false number will be
-9.
-9. And then we can check this 3 product. This give you a -63. Okay. Good. And then when your second root is 5, who will be this one?
7, 9, and -1.
And then this product is -63 again. Now let's try this one, please.
It's 4.5, 4, and -3.5.
Okay. So we can see here, this guy, you can do this guy. Give 2 here. 4 is 2 by 2. So this guy by 2 is 9. This guy by 2 is -7. -7 times 9 give you a -63, right? Okay, so when you show your final results, you should give the list like this. So either this phone number, or this phone number, or this phone number. Okay, after you finish all the roots, please do this table. That's going to be the results for this. They ask for the sets of the 4 rational numbers. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me see other students' work. When you want to show your answers, you want to list them by this kind of thing. You list the number 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for each of the X results you got, you list it over here, and then you can write down that thing over here. Okay. Students, if you haven't sent me your work, please go ahead. Okay, Kathleen, let's see here. So after you do this product, you got this equation, right?
Yeah.
And this 3 product equals to negative 63, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you will move the negative 63 to the left, so you get 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 20x, and then plus 75. You want to solve the roots for here. So the PRR is saying, look at the factors of the constant term. 75 is divisible by 1, by 3, by 5, by 15, by 25, by 75. And then the factors of the leading term coefficient is 1, 2. You leave this in the denominator. And then all those kind of ratios could be those possible roots. But you don't know who is, so you have to choose each individual ones. So here, for example, you try 1. We can try 1 first. So let's see. You do 2, negative 3, negative 20, 75. Kathleen, let's try here. Go ahead.
Put down the 2.
That's 2. And then
you added 2, so it's negative 7.
And then
you put a negative 7 over there. So negative 27.
Negative 27. And then
you put the negative 27 over there. And then it's 48.
48, which is not 0. So that's not the correct one, right?
Yeah.
And then we can try negative 1. Let's go ahead and try the negative 1. Go ahead, please.
Negative 2. And it's negative 11. And then it's negative 33.
This is positive 11 now.
Oh wait, yeah, positive. So it's just negative 9. And then 66.
Hey, this is going to be 84. Right?
Oh, okay.
84. So this is still not 0, right?
Yeah.
And then we will try from the easy number to the ugly number. We try 1 plus minus not working, then we try 3. So let's go one more. Try 3.
6. So then it's negative 3. And then negative 9. So it's negative 29. And then negative 87.
Okay, so it is still not 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then negative 3. So when you try negative 3 here, if you do carefully, it's going to give you a 0. When you see 0 here, you will be very happy because that means the guy to the power 3 is reduced to x to the power 2. This is 2x squared minus 15x plus 25. And then you do cross multiplication. You figure out the correct roots. So you have possible roots which might be negative 3, might be 5, might be 2.5. And then you can do those things. You can have all the set. Make sense?
So is there like no way to determine which number can directly be used for synthetic division until you try them all?
Right. That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Unless when you see this, so here, if you try some regrouping, when you have these polynomials, if you know some regrouping skills, you can also do it. So look at here. This is your equation. You want to solve it. So when I solve at that, this is what I did 2 years ago. So when I did this one, what I found out is that guy. This guy is divisible by 5. This guy is also divisible by 5. And then I would like to try something for the square term. I want it also divisible by 5. In that way, I think I'm able to take out some common factor of 5. Then it's going to make me easy to do the cross multiplication. So that's why I want to choose like, if I try negative 5x here, then this guy is going to be positive, this guy is going to be negative 4. But that way it doesn't work, then I keep trying until I reach to the number of negative 15. When I have here, and this is positive 6, and I know that this guy, when I take out 5, I quickly do this cross multiplication. I have a x plus 3 as my factor. And I know that this term, after I have negative 15x squared, this guy will be a 6x squared. Then I will be able to have an x plus 3. And then I feel, oh, that's so good. I'm able to take out this common factor. So I have x plus 3. So this is using regrouping method. But this one also, you cannot reach to this immediately unless you already know the answer. Before you know the answer, you have to also keep trying until you figure out. So you either keep trying using the regrouping, or you use the synthetic division by doing plus minus 1, plus minus 3, and you finally get it. Okay, this question is not too bad. You only try 3 numbers not working, and then the fourth one is working. Sometimes you try 10 numbers until you can find the correct answer. Let me go through people's work. Okay. Valeria, very good. Very neat and excellent. Cindy also get everything correct. Very neat. I really like your work. Haley also get the answer. Claire also get the answer. Trudisha, very good. Other students? There are several other students having to submit your work. If you need help, let me know. Ethan, Valeria, Kathleen, Cindy, Haley, Claire, Trudisha send me all their work, which are all good. Other students, please send me your work. If you need help, let me know. And you may feel curious, during the real test, will they give so big number? Yes. During the real test, they will give you so big number. Next one. We will talk about solving the inequalities. I will give the first example. They want you to solve this inequality. X squared, x minus 3, x plus 3. Valeria, let's do this one together. What are those roots positions?
0, 3, and negative 3.
So you have roots at 0, negative 3, positive 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened for this one? This means this, right?
Yes.
When you have an even number order, that means what? That means it's a bounce point, right?
Yes.
When you have the duplicate roots at one location, that's going to be the bounce point. So you will go. Let's also talk about the AND behavior. When x go to positive infinity, y will be whether when x is positive infinity, this is infinity square is infinity. That's also infinity, so y will also be infinity, right?
Yes.
When x go to negative infinity, y will approach to positive infinity or negative infinity. Negative infinity square is positive infinity. This, you can ignore those things, okay? So it's going to be positive infinity, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here, right? Going to infinity, going to infinity. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So you will cross and then coming here, it's going to be bounced. Bounce means you cannot cross. You will be bounced back like a ping pong ball. And then you're going down, but you will be dragged by these roots and then you're going up, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have this graph like this. And then you want to solve this inequality less than 0. Less than 0 means what? Below this, right?
Yes.
Below this. So your roots is from this position is -3, this is 0, this is 3. So your roots are between -3 to 0 and 0 to 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you make them equal?
No.
Because this is less than 0, not equal than 0, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you will choose from here to here, from here to here, right?
Yes.
That's it. All right. Next one, for the part B, all the students do by yourself. You want to move them around and then do the factorings. After you have the factorings, you will draw it and list the roots position. And based on to the power of odd, it's going to cross. To the power of even, it's a bounce. And you analyze the AND behavior so that you are able to draw the graph. And then you will be able to tell at what domain your value will be less than equal than 0. Ethan already got the correct answer. That's pretty good. Who else? Okay, very good job, Christina. So I see that most students already figured out the factoring format. So when you draw this one, you have three roots. You have negative square root 6, you have positive 1/3, you have positive square root 6. And when you are looking for less than equal than 0, so you want to figure out on this curve, what are those places you below the x-axis. So it's here and it's here. That point you can reach it. So you have from negative infinity to negative square root 6. You can reach it, so you put close. And then you do from positive 1/3 to positive square root 6. These two positions also okay, because you have the equal sign. So you will put 1/3 to positive square root 6. Okay. Ethan, does this make sense to you now? You choose this piece and you choose this piece. For the negative infinity, you cannot put it equal, okay? This thing is impossible. You always put open parentheses with infinity or negative infinity. So you choose here, which is from negative infinity all the way to square root 6, and then from 1/3 to square root of 6. That's what you have here. You are looking for the y value less than 0, so it's this piece and this piece. This is your correct expression. If you want to use the set format, you can say x is less than equal than negative square root 6, or 1/3 less than equal than x less than equal than square root 6. Okay. Okay, now let's do the next one. For this page, any other questions? No question? Then we will move to the next page. Here, this one. Vanessa, please go ahead, read this word's problem.
The volume of a rectangular box is 6 feet, more than twice the volume of a cube. The length of the box is 2 feet more than the length of an edge of the cube. Its width is equal to the length of an edge of the cube, and its height is 1 foot more than the length of an edge of the cube. What are the dimensions of the box and the cube?
Yeah, when we reach this part, many students feel headache. We will do step by step. Every time you read a sentence, you want to translate this into an equation. They give you two 3D geometry. One guy is a rectangular box. The other guy is a cube. And for a cube, if one dimension is x, so the cube volume is going to be x cubed. For the rectangular, they said the volume is 6 more than twice. So if this guy volume is x cubed, then this rectangular box volume is going to be 2 times x cubed plus 6. You read one sentence, you need to write down this. And then we read the next one. The length of the box is 2 more than the length of the edge of the cube. So you have one edge, which is x plus 2. This is equals to the edge. So that direction is equals to the x. And its height is 1 feet more than the cube. So that height is x plus 1. So you have this 3 dimension. And then this 3 guy product are going to equals to 2x cubed plus 6. So you will do this 3 guy product equals to this. Then you have a polynomial. You move it around. You want to figure out the factoring. Okay, go ahead. Write down your own equation. Write down your own equation and figure out all the roots, all those factors. And then based on the roots you figure out, you want to write down the dimension. So you want to figure out your x times x times x. That's your cube dimension. And then you want to do x plus 2 times x plus 1 times x. That's your rectangular box dimension. If you think the speed is too fast, text me a private message. If you think the speed is too slow, also text me. I noticed that this year they allow 9th grade students to take the final exemptions. Okay, so if your Algebra 2 current grade is pretty good and you don't want to work too hard for the final, you can do the exempt. But if you want to work hard in the last several weeks to give you a promotion, then you can prepare for the final. You can send me a private message. I may give you some suggestion about how to prepare for the final based on your personal information. Well, some students already sent me their work. Okay, yeah, Abby, you did very good. It could be two answers, both correct. When you check your work, if everything looks correct, that might be true. Then two answers might also be correct at the same time. For the real world question, as long as your dimensions are positive and your work is also correct, then that's true. It could happen. Because it's a polynomial, and when you solve the polynomial, it could have multiple roots. Okay, Vanessa, let's do this one together, okay?
Okay.
So we can delete this thing, and then let's solve here. So we have this equation, no problem,
Yeah.
right? Okay, now
Yeah.
let's do the FOILings. So we have x, and then this will be
x squared plus 3x plus 2.
yes.
Yeah.
And then let's go ahead.
X cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x.
Equals this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then maybe move around.
It's gonna be
X cubed minus
minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 6.
Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. And then for this, we can do synthetic
Grouping.
division. We can also do
Oh.
regrouping, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Look,
grouping.
yeah. When your teacher forces you to do the synthetic division, if you notice that you can do the regrouping, you do regrouping quickly, and then you do the synthetic, show the work. That's it. Okay?
Okay.
Whoever give you the fast results, and you choose that. Okay? So you have x minus 3 times x squared minus 2.
Yeah.
And then you have x minus 3 times x plus square root 2, and then x minus square root 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So x equals to 3, and then positive. But
it can't be negative.
But yeah, it cannot be negative. So you will cross out this one, right? Okay. So you have the 3 dimensions, and they ask you dimensions of the box and the cube. Listen, students, when they get this step, they thought they finish, or some people even didn't cross out this. When you come to here, you will not get the complete points. You need to do one more step. Say, for the box, you have 3, and then 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then for the box, for the cube, it's 3, 3, 3. And the second choice is you have square root of 2, and then you have square root 2 plus 1, and then you have square root 2 plus 2, right?
Yeah.
And then you have square root 2, square root 2, square root 2. Okay, that is your answer. You can see, okay, this is the box, and this is for the cube. Okay, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. We will do another box, open box. The same question as we did early. Exactly the same one. Everybody go ahead, write down your own equation and do the synthetic division to figure out the results. Oh, the words for this one. An open box. So I come back to this pink one, okay? Look at the video camera. So the open box with a volume of 72 centimeter cube. So my volume for this pink box is 72. This guy can be made by cutting a square. So cutting a square at 4 corners. So you cut a small square here, 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 and here. And then this is 10 centimeter on a side. So this total length is 10, 10, 10, 10. You cut the full square at these 4 corners. And then you fold it. It becomes to an open box. One side is open. And then they ask you what is the length of the side of the square that is cut. So that x is how much? This is 10. This is x. This is x. So how much is here? How much is here? And the height is how much? Make the product equals to 72. You can solve your x. If you feel confusion, let me know. I help you, okay? Anybody want to try number 2 with me together? Sure, let's do it. So how do you express the volume here?
X parentheses 10 minus 2x.
So this piece is how much?
10 minus 2x.
10 minus 2x. This will be?
10 minus 2x.
So the volume is going to be 10 minus 2x squared times x equals
72.
72. And now let's do the completing square, please. Let's do the formula. So you look, if we can simplify, we of course want to simplify. 10 is even, 2 is even, so we will take a 4 out, right? That makes sense? Look, this is 2 times 5 minus x parentheses, 10 minus 2x. So 2 squared is 4, so I'm going to take 4 out and I'm left with this. Is that okay? And then this 4 divided by 72. So 5 minus x parentheses square times x equals to how much? 18. And then we will do that guy square. Who is this guy?
25 minus 10x plus x squared.
25 minus 10x plus x squared. And then times x, right?
X, yes.
Okay, and then go ahead.
Would be
X cubed
x
Nine.
cubed minus
Mhm.
10x squared plus 25x
minus.
minus 18.
Okay, very good. Now let's do the synthetic division. Oh, by the way, let's figure out the PRR, please.
Plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18 over 1.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18 over 1. Excellent. Now let's do the synthetic division.
Divide by 2.
So you want to first use 2?
Yes.
Why you don't use 1? You try 1. Look, we can try 1 here easily. 1 will not work, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's try 2. And then this is 1, negative 10, 25, and then negative 18, right?
Yes.
Okay, then go ahead.
So you put the 1 down.
Mm-hmm.
So then 2,
Mm-hmm.
negative 8, negative 16, 9, and 18, and then 0.
Good. Next. This means what?
X squared minus 8x plus 9.
Good. X squared minus 8x plus 9 equals to 0.
0.
And then
Complete the square.
sure. So no, hold on. We can do this guy. Hold on. This one we will do the quadratic formula, right? This is not factorable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do complete square, but I think both way can work actually. Yeah, if you want to try complete square, let's do it. Let's go ahead. How do you want to complete in square?
X squared minus 8x plus 16.
Good. So the outside
Plus-
should be
Plus 9 minus 16. So it's
plus
negative
9 minus 16. And who is this?
X minus 4 squared
Very good. Equals?
equals to positive 7.
Good. So x minus 4 will be?
Plus or minus square root of 7.
So x will be 4 plus minus square root 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. If we use the quadratic formula, we will get the same answer. That's it. And we want to check, make sure they are all positive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they are all positive. So square root 7 is less than 4. So 4 minus square root 7 is also possible. Correct?
Yes.
But you think all these 3 will be the answer? We have to make sure, be careful about the restriction. Even though in the question, there's no saying, oh, your x will be between what and what. But you have to know that for the real world question, the dimension has all to be positive. So that means this guy has to be positive, right?
Yes.
So 10 minus 2x is greater than 0. Then x will be?
8 plus or minus 2.
So
Sorry.
x will be less than 5, right?
Oh yeah.
So that means you cannot choose this one. Why? Because this guy will be greater than 5.
Yeah.
Why? You see here? We want to compare this guy with 5, which means you are comparing this guy with 4 plus 1. This guy is greater than 1 for sure. So this one is greater than 5. So we cannot choose this positive one. Can we choose the negative one? Yes. This one is positive and it's less than 5. So that's a good one. This one also between 0 and 5. That's another good one. Makes sense?
Makes sense.
So they ask you, what is the length of the side of the corner? So you will choose 2. 4 minus square root 7. Okay. Any student, any question? The next one is similar. They again give you 4 numbers, but this time they told you the first, the third, and the fourth product is negative 12. And they also tell you that the second one is 3 more than the first one. So you list number 1 as x, number 2 as x plus 3. Number 3, the third one, is 1 more than the second, 1 more than the second. This plus 1, this give you x plus 4. And the fourth one is 1 more than the third, 1 more than the third, so x plus 4 plus 1. So you have this. And then you want this 3 guy product give you a negative 12. Some people do first, second, third product without reading this piece correctly and ending up no solution. Read this. Who didn't read this well? You messed up this question. Number 1, number 3, number 4. This 3 product equals negative 12. And then you will do the foiling, and then you will list. After you have here, you will again use synthetic divisions. Or if you want to manipulate with the regrouping, you can also try it. And you figure out, oh, negative 1 is a perfect answer. This number is not too big. You try plus minus 1, you get it very quickly. After you get this step, you can have that, and then factoring to be this, okay, which is easy. And then you can list all the set of the phone number. So you want to make x equals negative 1, then you write down the other 3. X equals negative 2, you write down the other 3. X equals negative 6, you write down the other 3. Okay? The next several examples are also inequality. So you notice that every type of question depends on the polynomial factoring skills. The Algebra 1, we learned those cross multiplication, special formulas. And in Algebra 2, we do the polynomial, synthetic division, PNI, PRR to help us figure out the roots. But doing the inequality, as long as you can find your roots correct, that's easy. But you notice that some questions, it's not easy for you to find the roots. For example, this one, you won't be able to solve by hand, this one. So what you can do, this part is calculate session. So you want to draw it, and you do the calculator. Calculator can do all the things for you. You just type in. Let's see here. For example, number 7. You move everything to the left. So you do x to the power 4 minus 3x to the power 3 minus 53x to the power of 2. and then minus 9x. Okay, you have this one. And then you want to zoom in because you have some very small roots over here. So you want to find this point, that point, that point, and then the last point. So you have this 1, 2, 3, 4 roots, and you want to make it bigger than 0. So from negative infinity to this first roots, and then from this second roots to the third roots, and then beyond the third roots. Make sure if it's greater than 0, you don't put or close. If this is equal then you will put those things to be close, but never ever make this close. Infinity is something you cannot reach, so always make it open. Okay, yeah, calculate part are not hard at all. You let the calculator do it for you. All right. Before we finish the class, any question? Or the students, any question? Okay, I will upload the video and also my notes, and I'll see you next week. We only have last 2 classes. So this is class 12, and we have 2 more classes. Then we finish this semester, and then we will, you take the winter break and relax, and then in January, you come back to the Algebra 2 AAC, the third part for the spring semester. The spring semester, we already did this polynomial stuff, and then we will learn something called the rationals, which is also a headache part. Okay, see you all next week.